Hi, I'm Brian Russell, and I want to talk about missional leadership. One of the biggest challenges that we have is how do we actually lead our people in these times? It's always the question that we ask as we work to be part of God's mission. But leadership actually begins with self-leadership, and that's one of the critical pieces that I want to talk with you. Now, of course, what is leadership? I like John Maxwell's definition. Leadership is influence. We might also put a word that you might not like, but power. It's the use of power. Now, as Christian leaders, we practice servant leadership, but we still exert influence as we seek to lead God's people into the world on mission. So when we talk about self-leadership, we want to explore at least 4 pieces that go into the use of influence, the proper uses of leverage and power, and the things that go into leading congregations and ultimately leading ourselves. And I want to talk about 4 areas that you can do a quick check-in with yourself on. Before we can even talk about leadership, influence, we want to stop and talk about how well are we as pastors, spiritual leaders, managing our own time. Is there always more time? Do you run out of time before you actually get everything done? Are you always feeling behind? Are you struggling to find balance, time for your family, time to do the sermons, time to do all the different pieces that go into being in ministry as a leader? So how are you doing with time? And then related to time, and these are very closely related, how are you doing in terms of energy management? Do you have energy for the day? Are you able to get up, get out of bed, take action? Are you doing the things in your life that promote healthy levels of energy? And that's things like, are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating properly? Are you exercising? Are you unclogging yourself so you can actually focus your energy at the right time in your exercise of leadership? Then the third thing comes down to how well do we manage our emotions. Again, notice how all these really relate to each other. I mean, if we don't handle our emotions right, our time is going to be clogged up thinking, and our minds buzz around on things. It's going to affect our energy. So this is a critical piece. And we're not talking about becoming unemotional, but we're talking about how well do we react when things don't go our way. And do we have practices? These all can be dealt with in terms of practices. Do we have practices that will allow us to experience the full range of human emotion in a way that actually reflects the love of God, the love of neighbor, and actually the love of self? Now, going into all of these things, what's going to support this is how well do we set up our rule of life or our rhythms. And we can talk more about that in another video, but these are 3 critical things you want to check in. How's your time? How's your energy? How's your emotions? Because what these affect are the way that we show up and interact with other people. And the 4th area of check-in is our words. Because a lot of times it comes out of our mouth, both the positive and the negative ways that we've actually dealt with these other pieces. So are we able to paint words that are beautiful, compelling, inspiring, transformational, or are more of our words things that pull people down, or negative, or even at the worst, toxic? Again, everybody has difficult days and bad days, right? But are we talking about most of the time we can actually work through these 4 pieces, and then what these do in combination? This is where real Christian leadership comes from. So we want to be the missional people that God created us to be. If we want to be the pastors that we've been called to be, we need to do check-ins on these because these are the roots that allow us to lead well. Love to have a conversation with you about any of these things. These are all bigger topics, but this is a quick checklist that we can go through really weekly or even daily. How am I doing with these pieces? Again, I'm Brian Russell. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present this information to you.